Look at that face. Carefully, he guided her to his home, making sure she wouldn't trip. Oh my god. The 30-year-old man took off his coat and shut the door behind him. Make yourself at home, I'll cook you something. Passing through the kitchen, okay. While roaming, okay. Defensive. To pique her interest, bland house, yep. Distracted by the packed noodles, okay. Okay, intrigue, Ambre felt magnificently, okay. Was this okay? We already read this. His mind was elsewhere. His hands were mechanically preparing the meal, but his mind was elsewhere. Little by little, he slowed down until he stopped completely. Still as a robot, he leaned against the wall. God, what have I done to deserve this? Will she be coming back? When is she going to wake up? His face in his hands, he cried silently in the empty living room. Will my tears reach you one day? When he felt better, he headed towards the forbidden room and caught Ambre playing with stuffed animals. His gaze softened. Without a word, he went to sit next to her. Okay. She got mad at the plump. Okay, we already read this. Is she stuck in a I don't know. It's punishment, okay. Already read this. Stuffed animal. Finally noticed his presence. That evening, Tristan Mallory admired Ambre as she wolfed down her food. He felt half amused, half distracted. Seeing her so happy soothed his heart a little, but at the same time, it was heartbreaking, okay? He remembered the blissful days, already long gone. It wasn't easy, but he still remembered them. The beautiful young lady, her adorable smile, her cheerfulness, their promises. Confronted by Ambre's overflowing enthusiasm, Tristan Mallory couldn't help but smile faintly, almost pitiful. Yes, that's it indeed, he kept telling himself. He'll be keeping her around until she remembers who she is and what she's lost. Waiting for her to remember, if she ever managed to someday. Oh! I think I get it. Wait. Tristan Murray could have been an ordinary man with an ordinary life if everything hadn't changed so drastically a few years ago due to consequences of their events. Since that day, he was stuck in that infernal circle, a struggle that seemed never ending. He had been so happy, fulfilled with the woman he loved, the woman he had married. Ambre, the charming woman he had sworn his life to, had gone mad. He had never realized how obsessed she was about having kids till their doctor told him she was sterile. A seemingly overcome able situation, but to her it was as if she had been dealt the death penalty. They could have put themselves in the hand of science or just have given up on that project altogether and created a new one that they could have been satisfied with in their everyday life, but she couldn't give up the idea. Ambre wasn't willing to let her little girl dreams go or to change a word of the promised fairy tale. It was a must. It had to go that way, that way only. So the pressure she put on herself had the better of her. She couldn't be perfect. She couldn't perfectly conform herself to the absurd norm imposed to her. Something in her head broke like a fragile thread. She had an emotional breakdown. Under her husband Tristan's bewildered eyes, she saw insanely quickly in a madness as sudden as it was violent and from which she wouldn't return. Refusing to face reality, she escaped in a long dream, a long nightmare where she became out of reach. Ambre reverted to childhood, where everything was easier, where everything was still possible. She didn't recognize her husband anymore, or didn't want to recognize him. He had to pretend not to know her each time and get closer to her each time, until she had a new breakdown and everything would be reset again. Okay, I get it now. He had to make her happy and help her get better each time, even if it meant bending to her every will, even if it meant living in a world of pretend, even if it meant unrequited love on his part. I get it now. During the cycle, once more intrigued, Ambre took advantage of his absence to open a drawer. She found the key in her guardian's room. Inside the drawer was a big leather notebook. Surely she had found a treasure. She took it and opened it. Photo albums right on the pages, okay? Already read this. she's so pretty, okay. Made her jump, okay. She answered in a shaky voice, okay, we already know this. Appearing, okay. Reluctantly, he sat down on the couch, okay. Damn, Ambre looks so old right now. She got away. Okay, we already read this. She's alive from a different world. Okay. Head down, heavy crashing sounds between them. Could anyone imagine his suffering? Could anyone imagine what it felt like to be in his shoes? To see that your special someone couldn't recognize you anymore, that she had forgot everything about you and your relationship? When Ambre, the little girl stuck in a woman's body, asked him why he was crying, he wanted to scream. Because I love you and we were so happy together. Because I can't live without you, because I need you, your affection. I'm all alone because you're my wife and the woman. Like, this is what's happening, but on the first phase of the game, they showed a little girl. That's clever, okay. I beg of you, come back to me, get a hold of yourself and snap out of it. But it was useless. He had tried already, tried to shake her, talk to her like she was his wife, but if he did, she would remain terrified and stay away from him, and crying, she would tell him he shouldn't scold her. So he would give up, he stopped trying to get his role back, he kept pretending and he stopped. That's why when they're playing like mommy and daddy, he was like so satisfied, okay. Fake a smile, forget about yourself, don't think about anything other than reassuring her. Tristan Miller was no Superman, he was often on the verge of losing it. He despaired to remark on progress and had no hope for healing. Would Ambre ever return to normal? He didn't believe it anymore. One evening he was feeling more tense than usual. He dared to yell at the young lady who was doing her best to appear attractive. He immediately regretted it, but the deed was done. Ambre's voice was trembling dangerously. Getting close, he noticed her. Yep, I think it's happening again. Want you to love me, yeah? What are you talking about? That's why he's like asking, who are you talking about? Because her wife is her, okay. Tristan held her in her arm, yeah. Okay. That's why he's like sad and shit. Right, the past, like some form of unconscious suicide. How could he answer such a declaration? He had to wake her up, he had to make her realize. Okay, oh, now I get it. That's why he told it. I was like, a little kid, holy shit, that's not what's happening, right? Okay. Oh, okay, that's what's happening. Yeah. Did she recognize him? Just a little? Was that a sign from her subconscious? Did she begin to get a grip on herself? Of course not. Then prove it. Like a love of a woman, okay? I was like, when he's kissing a little kid, I was like, damn. Okay. Okay. If you only knew how much I love you, okay? I thought they did it that time. As dawn's rays of light crept through the window, Ambre was profoundly asleep. Okay. When you wake up, you'll be a kid again, right? Oh, I get it now. I get this line now. Okay. The only answer, okay. Won't you invite me? Okay. Of infernal circle that boiled sprays in a permanent cacophony. Once more, to please her, he mimicked a fake wedding ceremony without telling her it was a fake joy. Then again with the fresh and innocent smile of the picture's return. Okay, that was a fake wedding, okay. To counter the numerous relapses, the 30-year-old man often went to the hospital with his wife in charge of her and to discuss the eventual progress. So Tristan, how's Ambre lately? Did she get a little better? Still nothing. The doctor frowned, but it was a compassionate expression. He was in charge of the Mallory case for some years by now, and he felt particularly powerless in front of such avoidance on the part of the young lady. He tried it all, without success. You never know. Is that why you called me doctor? He took the pen and played with nervously while staring at Tristan. No, to be honest, I knew Ambre would relapse again. One of my colleagues went to talk with me the other day. Apparently your wife went to the hospital and did the usual. Trying to an intern that didn't know how to deal with the situation. I often explained her case to the newbies, but between theory and practice, you know. The poor boy tried his best. He told her the truth while trying to sugarcoat it and make her reflect onto it. She had another angst crisis, of course. By the time he told her to sit down to call for me, she was already gone. If it had been me, I would have tried to buy some time. Anyway, what done is done. There's no need to apologize, doctor. It's not your fault. You know as well as I do that she often had breakdowns and lying her about it doesn't do any good. Even so, I booked today's appointment so I could check on how you're faring and how she'd been since that unfortunate incident with my colleague. Nothing's changed. The doctor sighed. He stuck the pen in his coat pocket, nervously scratching his beard. He murmured in an understanding tone. Really, I'm impressed. I don't know how you can manage to get by like this, Tristan. In your place, I would have been able to cope. But I still have to keep you track too. We never know. You're not safe from having a breakdown just like her. I totally understand, doctor. You know, every cycle, I try to do things differently, but in the end, I'm tired, worn out, I've lost all hope. So that all I can do for her is to make her as happy as possible during that golden time where she's living a perfect childhood. All that's left of a woman alive is a shadow, so I hope she'll find rest someday. Two men were contemplating Ambre, who was far away in the hospital hallway, playing like a little girl. Suddenly Tristan broke the silence, his voice trembling. Sometimes I wonder if she is ever going to get out of that prison she built around herself to avoid suffering. Will she accept and face the outside world, or is she going to live in that eternal golden dream where everything's perfect forever? I wish I could promise you she will, that she will wake up from that long-time nightmare, but something inside of me thinks she's never going to question her obsession, which is an immense waste. Because of that, she's forsaken herself from a life that could have been wonderful. Meanwhile, Ambre Mallory was cheerfully talking to what she thought to be another little girl of her age. In fact, the young lady was madly talking to her reflection in the mirror with dead eyes, still stuck in that never-ending dream, free of hardships. You know what? I've got someone I love. Yes, for real. I'm not gonna even try to voice act. I'm even soon going to marry him. And we'll be happy until the end of time, and have a lot of kids just like in fairy tales. How could it be any other way? You're right, every day will be a feast. If only I didn't have that strange feeling. I think I've lost something important, really important. But I can't remember what it was, or who it was. The end. Holy shit. That was quite a journey. Oh my god. My brain hurts, I'm emotionally hurt, mentally hurt. Not physically though. That's clever, like they did with a kid first and then Ambre growing up. I like that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, comments on your thoughts on the game. I really want to know your thoughts on the game. And as always, see you on the next video.